Hello, welcome to Frag Radio, the live video podcast that showcases people doing good things in the veteran community. Today's guest is Matthew Griffin, CEO and co-founder of Combat Flip Flops. How are you doing today, brother?
Doing very well. It's Monday, so the end of the day, so I'm doing well, all things considering.
Awesome. So we always kick the show off, starting off with you telling us a little bit about your background, like who you are, where you come from, and then just roll right into like what you got going on now.
Perfect. Yeah, so my name's Matt Griffin. I go by Griff from Eldridge, Iowa. Joined the military in 1997. Graduated college 2001, commissioned into the artillery, went through Ranger School, conventional unit, and then into the regiment. Did 3 to Afghanistan and 1 to Iraq. Got out in 2006 and decided to get my way back and found myself in Afghanistan in 2008-9 timeframe and come up with this crazy idea to start Combat Flip Flops, and fast forward to 2017 and here we are, making cool stuff in dangerous places and putting little girls in school.
Awesome.
That's it.
Oh, that's awesome. So now, what made you decide to start Combat Flip Flops? Like,
so after I got out of the military, again, I started working for a company called Remote Medical International. And what we were doing is we were putting clinics and physicians and pharmaceuticals and narcotics and drugs in all these foreign countries to support government contractors and medical evacuations. The challenge with it is when you bring physicians and doctors and medical gear into foreign countries, there's all this paperwork that you need to fill out. And people really didn't know how to do it effectively, considering how many contractors are floating in and out of countries in that time frame. So they hired me to go and do it. And I was going around to all these different areas. And when I went, it was literally Griff and a backpack and some cash. And I had to be on the economy to go and figure all of these things out. And what I really noticed was if you're there without a gun and body armor, people tend to treat you nicer. It's weird how that works, right? And if I wanted to stay safe, what I would do is I would go to the areas that were flourishing with business. In the same way that business owners here in America watch their street corners, they don't like people, causing crime or selling drugs in their street corners. They'll call the cops. The same thing was happening there in Kabul, Afghanistan, where you saw business. The street owners were taking care of the issues that were there, because if the business goes under, like, their families don't eat. So it's a real thing that's happening. And I was witnessing this happen all over the world. And long story, I ended up in a combat boot factory in Kabul. Saw a flip-flop sole punch through a combat boot sole, a flip-flop thong punch through a combat boot sole. And I thought it would sell, and registered combatflipflops.com that night with my co-founder and Ranger buddy, Donald Lee. And that was it.
Awesome. So now how often, because it blows my mind that, we're at war still in Afghanistan. Like, we have, guys on the ground out there. And how often do you travel over there?
So I haven't been over there in over a year. It's just really expensive to go. Every time I go, it's $5,000. Wow. And between airfare, lodging, travel, visas, security, phones, everything, it's $5,000 per person to go. And thank God for technology. We're able to work through Google with all of our manufacturers there and get products in and out. My brother Andy just got back from Colombia yesterday, so he's down there about once a quarter. And I got a feeling we're going to be doing a little bit more travel over to Afghanistan here in the next quarter to a year. So we travel every month, every other month to somewhere different. But as far as Afghanistan goes, we haven't had the need to go there in over a year.
All right. Now, I recently saw a video you guys were doing, like, on your feed, whatever, that you went to Iraq.
I did. I was fortunate enough to work with a guy named Stacy Bear. So he was the 2014 National Geographic Adventurer of the Year, but he's a big fan of taking veterans and healing through the outdoors. And we were supposed to go ski in Afghanistan this year, but it's been kind of hot lately the past couple of years with ISIS and the Taliban. And so we decided where we were going was probably not the safest area to go with a bunch of white guys in helicopters and skis. So we decided to go to Iraq instead, to Kurdistan. So as the offensive is going on in Mosul, we're about 45 minutes away in Erbil when we land. And then we head north to the Iranian border to Shoman. And we were the first veteran team and all-American team to do a winter ascent and descent of the tallest mountain in Iraq, which is Mount Hallgard.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. No, I love following the videos that you guys were putting out while you were over there. Really cool to see you guys going over there. It's not something people think about every day. Hey, let's go to Iraq. But no, real cool. It's a different side of what we see in the mainstream media.
Well, I'll tell you that I didn't realize how much so I served in both Iraq and Afghanistan and had negative experiences in both. And what I didn't realize was that after I started going back to Afghanistan as a civilian and I had positive experiences as an adult out of the military, my issues with Afghanistan would say that there was some closure behind them, but there was, I didn't have as many challenges as I had with my experiences in Iraq. The things that you see often as a veteran, the things that you remember, the negative feelings that get brought up. It would always happen around Iraq. And then I went to Iraq this past spring, and it was one of the most cathartic things I'd done. Being up there on top of that mountain, staring out at the beauty, getting to hang out with all the Kurds and to get to experience so many positive things out of that country since I came back. All of those negative issues, I hate to say they've almost all resolved themselves. So I would highly encourage any veteran, if you're open to it, is going back and experience the area where you had conflict, but do it in a very positive manner.
Oh, that's awesome. It's great advice too. And hopefully Stacey Barrett is going to come on the podcast eventually as well. And he can share some more insight into what he does. But very cool. And,
he's a very large, intelligent human being.
Right.
I enjoy his company quite much.
And Eric Mitchell just shared the link to the video that we were talking about as well. So anybody watching right now, you can go ahead and check it out after this is over. But very cool. So with Combat Flip-Flops, I saw that you guys were on Shark Tank as well.
We were on Shark Tank. That was quite a fun experience as well.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that experience? Because not too many people get to actually do that.
Hey, it's the crazy part about it is we didn't even apply. So Shark Tank called us and said, "Hey, we read your story in Gizmodo. Wes Seiler from Gizmodo wrote this amazing article about us, and one of the producers read it. Said, hey, we'd like you to be on the show." I was kind of resistant at first, then I called my business partners, Andy and Lee, and they said, "Are you crazy? That's 11 million people that watch the show every Friday night on America's #1 family rated TV show. It's an amazing marketing opportunity. Let's do it." So we filled out the packet. They dug it. We worked with the producers beforehand. They invited us down to film, and we ran it just like we were going to train an operation. We measured off the distances in the room. We measured off how many steps were between the doors, how long we're going to be in there. We'd watched all the episodes. We'd read all the beta, all the different podcasts about being on Shark Tank. And we had wargamed ourselves into how we were going to take this on. And we went down there. We had a great experience. We were in the tank for about an hour and 45 minutes. They only showed 10 minutes of it, but it was like I was pitting out by the end because it was so hot underneath the lights by the time we closed out. And we got more than we wanted, and then we walked out of there, high-fived, and we're back on a plane. And then you film in June and September, and then you air in the following season. So we thought we were going to air in November, and we didn't. And they held us all the way until February of last year. And we did more business in 19 hours than we did in all of 2014. And in 36 hours, we did more business than we did as in our entire company history. We were back ordered until the end of May, and then as soon as we got out of back order status, they ran a rerun, and we back ordered until the end of August. And we've since caught up, our production's caught up, and everything else. But it's been a fantastic experience. Yeah, it's been amazing.
That's awesome because you guys actually started out of one of your garages. Am I correct?
Oh yeah, it was my garage. When our second factory in Afghanistan fell out, we converted my garage to a guerrilla flip-flop factory, and we manufactured.
Are you guys still in the garage, or did you grow big enough now to have some warehouse space?
Yeah, so the line of advice that was given to me by one of my mentors is maximize your debt. And we could have moved out of our warehouse a long time ago, but the garage that I owned fit everything that we needed it to do. Essentially, we just pulled all the manufacturing equipment out. We cubed out all of the shelves. And we made it so that way we could pick, pack, and ship all of the stuff on our own without paying any warehousing fees or fulfillment fees. And we drove all that profit right back into the company. And we finally got to the point about 2 months ago where we moved to a third-party logistics facility. So now we're out of the garage. We're subcontracting everything, and it's awesome. It's
awesome. Great. Good for you guys, man. That's awesome. So now you guys actually made a deal on Shark Tank, correct?
We did.
Who'd you make the deal with?
we made a deal with Mark Cuban, Damon John, and Lori Grenier for $300,000 for 30% of our company. And to answer Steve Fitzgerald there, no, our garage isn't very massive. Our garage is about 30 feet by 40 feet, maybe.
Right.
So, yeah, we're about 600, I'd say 600 square feet we're about in, maybe a little bit smaller, but it's cubed out floor to ceiling.
I remember seeing the pictures and stuff that you guys were posting on social media in your garage, and it looked pretty jam-packed in there. So,
maximize your debt. Maximize that debt.
No, I hear you. That's awesome. So yeah, making the deal with Shark Tank. How is it, working with? I mean, these guys are multimillionaires and billionaires. Mark Cuban's a billionaire. So like, how is it working with them? Do you actually deal with them, every so often? Are you dealing with their teams that they put together? Or,
so the way it works is you usually have a business representative. We work actively with Cuban's team.
Okay.
So we have a business manager that's there every week. We send our weekly update, email it to him, and he typically responds back within 24 hours. And we just have a great working relationship. And we ask for something directly, and they either say yes or no, and we move forward. But they've been a phenomenal partner. They've been investing in veteran-owned small businesses. They've got us hooked up with Amazon in a massive way. So if you want to buy our products after listening to this, please just do me a favor and buy them on Amazon. And then when you get them, please submit a seller and a product review. Thank you.
Awesome. I was actually going to ask you about that because I saw some stuff come out about you guys were working with Amazon now. So is Amazon fulfilling all your orders now?
No, we moved to a third-party logistics facility, which is seller fulfilled Prime. So now we qualify for Prime shipping, or we will by the end of the month. So we have one pot of inventory that we can sell to our direct-to-consumer stuff off of our Shark Tank, or we sell it to Amazon. So it's great. Eric, I saw him chop up there. He wanted to know how we got the bad for running, worse for fighting motto.
Yep.
So we're big mountain skiers. So both my brother and I we really like to go downhill fast. We have a thing for speed, and especially on snow. And he's my brother-in-law. So obviously, like, you're marrying somebody, or somebody's marrying into the family, and they go, "Oh yeah, I like to ski and I like to snowboard." And you're like, "Oh God, am I gonna have to drag my brother-in-law around skiing all the time? He can't keep up." And he's thinking the same thing about me. So we got on this 2-foot powder day, and we're talking about the business and all the things you can't do, and flip-flops. And he's like, "Yeah, man, you're not flip-flops suck for running. Yeah, they're really bad for running." And he goes, "Yeah, you're not shod for the throwdown." And you're like, "Yeah, definitely." I mean, when you throw on flip-flops, you're making a conscious decision as a person not to get into a fight because you're gonna get your ass whipped. Yep. Right. So this is like, as soon as you slide them on, you're going to enter a peaceful mindset, or you're going to opt to resolve a conflict peacefully. Right. So that's the whole thing. And then, so we're just standing there on the lift line waiting to go. And I was like, "Yeah, bad for running." And he goes, "Yeah, they're worse for fighting." And then we just stopped and we looked at each other like, that just happened. And we rode up to the top of the lift and we just, nuked down the hill together. It was a good time. So it was a 2-foot powder day. Nothing but goodness came out of that day. Plus the combat flip-flops motto. Bad for running, worse for fighting.
I know. They're on my feet right now, actually.
Which model? Which model?
I have, these ones.
Ooh, the Flopperators. I agree. That's my favorite pair. I put the most miles on those, yeah.
Yeah, I wear them every day, pretty much in the summer. Not so much in the winter. Bad for snow. But, no.
Might have something for that soon.
Oh, yeah?
Mm.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, anybody that missed your Shark Tank episode, go watch it. I thought it was great, especially when, what's his name? The bald guy. Oh, what's his name? Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah.
He went out in the beginning. It was great. It was epic. So it seemed like Donald Lee was pretty hesitant about doing it.
We did we did the paper, rock, scissors. So I'll let you guys in so the whole thing is in Shark Tank is about creating drama on what you're going to do. And half the decisions in our company I'm going to say all the decisions in our company. I'm going to grab it here real quick. Are made with this 8-ball and paper, rock, scissors. That's how we make all the decisions in our company. If it's a big decision and we can't decide, we just shake the 8-ball and we do it. And Lee and I were discussing he was going to kill Kevin on air, and it was just the night before. We paper rock scissors, and then he lost, or he won. So he got to kill Kevin with it. Kim Lake.
Oh, that was awesome. That was classic. Definitely go check it out. And it was a great episode. So now, like, I remember when the episode aired, you know, I was following you guys on Facebook already, and, you know, like, giving back to a country that we're at war at sometimes doesn't sit well with people, you know, like, it's your cause, and that's awesome, you know, that you have a cause, and a lot of people have, you know, their causes that they support. But I'm one of those comment readers. I love, you know, reading through the comments. I know you guys
have great comments.
Oh, man.
Comments are so awesome.
You guys get so many comments, but your responses are epic. So I don't know who came up with the responses to them, but they're great. You know, a lot of people are like, they don't do their research before they comment either. So they'll be like, you know, why don't you guys support veterans? You're veterans, support veterans. But you guys do.
Totally.
You know,
tons of time and money. Like, I don't get it.
So people just initially, because I mean that's what the headlines are, you know, with your company is, you know, we put Afghanistan girls in school, you know, we're clearing landmines, you know, which is awesome stuff. But you also do more than that as well, which people don't do their research on, you know. So the comment, why don't you support veterans? And you know, I should have taken a screenshot so I could put them up right now of your responses. But man, they're epic. If you guys are watching this, go check out Combat Flip Flops on Facebook and go read through the comments. I mean, you'll spend hours just reading through their comments alone, and it's awesome.
We're going to kill you with kindness and facts. That's it.
Yeah,
and maybe a little humor, but that's what we're going to do. And more often than not, the thing that I really enjoy about it is our customer base is either, you know, far left or far right, one of the others, and they both meet on this whole thing of, well, maybe we should really provide opportunity instead of shooting each other over every single problem. And then you see like the knuckle dragger chime in and comments on a you know, something stupid they read on the headline or whatever. And then you see two people from opposing groups just attack this one person. And our whole thing is like, you can tear them up and down if you want to, as long as it's facts. As soon as you start insulting them as a person, then you're done. So as long as you're using fact and intellect and humor, have fun. Just don't insult them.
Right.
So that's our thing. So I would encourage everybody listening to this to chime in our comments if you feel willing to do so.
Absolutely. And it also helps you guys out getting more organic exposure on social media as well. You know, so, but it's awesome. You guys got great causes, and you do support the veteran community. So I also read an article, though, that I think it was you that wrote it, about somebody asked you if you guys are anti-guns, like anti-shooting.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, somebody asked us about guns. How come you guys have guns in your imagery?
Right.
We like guns. What's wrong with them? Nothing. Like, I was raised around them. I carried one for a job. I defend my family with one. And to be honest, they're kind of fun. I don't see why you should care.
Right. They think because you're helping somebody in Afghanistan, your little girl go to school, you don't like guns, but that's not the case with you guys at all.
No, not at all.
Pretty standard veterans, you know, like guns, you know, like doing good things for people, you know, giving back. You know, that's what we all do.
It's so weird how we always look at the blue line, right? The good guys with a gun.
Yep.
And if you're not crossed that blue line and you're a guy with a gun, now you're bad. I just don't get it. I don't understand how that works. Especially when everything in Hollywood or the media portrays the hero, the guy that gets the girl, is the guy with the gun that kills everybody. Right. And gets it in the end. Like that's what we profess in our media and our TV, all over Netflix, all over major media and Hollywood. So, but they hit us up about it.
Yeah, Eric Mitchell. I know you know who Eric is.
I do know Eric.
You're also in Colombia, right?
We are in Colombia. After our footwear factories in Afghanistan failed, just because they don't make the raw materials in Afghanistan, so we had to import everything, make it, and then export it. It was too complicated. We found some badass manufacturers in Colombia, down in Bogota, and it's the same thing as Afghanistan, narco-finance insurgency, but except we've done a little bit better job of fighting the war down there, and we've done good public-private policy back with free trade, and it's allowed our business to go down there and working with some awesome Colombian craftsmen, and we are making badass footwear out of Colombia. And we just got outsoles made out of rubber that came off a coca plant substitute farm. So farms that used to grow cocaine are now growing rubber trees, and that's the rubber we're going to be using in our products. So
awesome.
It works.
Big win there.
It works.
Now the name of your company is Combat Flip Flops, right?
Correct.
But you guys just sell more than flip flops. What else do you guys sell? Where do you have it made at?
All right. So first, I'll address the whole name, Combat Flip Flops. So it's a punch in the mouth. Like when somebody reads it, we want them to stop and think. Like those two things do not go together,
right? And
they don't. But a flip flop is also a political term. So it's somebody who takes a 180-degree stance change on a subject while argues that both are still needed. We used to be Army Rangers. We jumped out of airplanes. We blew dudes up, thinking that was the best thing to help our country. Now we've gotten out and we believe the best way to help our country is to provide business and opportunity in these areas. But we still need our special operations. We still need our military to provide that opportunity, that gap. So we say we're Combat Flip Flops. We're people. We've changed our mindset about how we can help. So
awesome. So what else are you guys making?
So our first bag was our Claymore bag. So we made a Claymore mine bag. So essentially we make products that we want that nobody else makes, and then we sell it to you guys. That's how it works. So we made a computer laptop bag because we're minimalists and we like the Claymore mine shape. So we made that, and it's been a great selling bag. So it's made right here in America. We started making jewelry out of landmines from Lao. We make shamas and scarves. Our cashmere line is off and on every now and then. We started making some lapis jewelry from Afghanistan, from war widows, and we just continue to innovate products. So we got a few new things, hint, hint, for winter coming up here that are going to be released in about the next 45 days.
Awesome. Yep. And Steve Fitzgerald asked, working in a country like Colombia, aren't you afraid of the instability?
No, Colombia's awesome. There is something you do have to worry about down there. There's this drink that this drug they spike in your drink, and it makes you completely complicit and coherent at the same time. So when you go down to Colombia, just make sure you're watching your drinks, because that's how you could get somebody just dumps the stuff in your drink, and they can get you to give them your credit card, go to the ATM ride, transfer all your bank accounts, take a kidney, whatever. So that's the one thing that they caution you about when you get down to Colombia, is just make sure you're watching your drinks.
Wow. Yeah. Good information. Steve, you going to go to Colombia now? See if he answers. I don't know if you've been watching the comments, but I think half the people I was stationed with in New Jersey are watching right now. It's like a little reunion on this episode. So no, but very cool, man. You guys are doing some awesome stuff, and I wish Donald Lee was here. I know he had to travel last minute, but you guys are doing some really cool stuff out there, man. Definitely keep it up. And where can everybody find you guys at? Everything
is at combatflipflops.com.
Awesome.
Everything. So socials at Combat Flip Flops, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, Snapchat, whatever. It's all at Combat Flip Flops. And if anybody can contact us and tell us how to figure out Snapchat, please let me know. I must be too old to make it cool. So.
Awesome. And for everybody watching, I'll definitely put the link to their website in the comment section when we're done. And they're already tagged in the top in the headlines. So you guys can find them there.
And I'll do a 25% off coupon between now and the end of the month. Coupon code FRAGOUT.
Awesome. I'll definitely put that in there as well. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So, Griff, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us today, man. It was a pleasure having you on. Before we go, any words of advice for future entrepreneurs or guys getting out of the military that are thinking about it? Any last minute words of encouragement for them getting started?
Just keep swinging, bro. That's it. Fail forward. The best advice that was ever given to me about being a CEO of a company is you do three things. Is you raise money. That's either through sales or through equity. You hire well, which means hire to your weaknesses. Find the best people for the job that can complete you. Find your complement where you're weak. Don't hire guys that are like you. Hire guys that are the opposite of you or fill out your weaknesses. And be confident in that, knowing you're not good at something and hiring somebody that's better than you in that area. And then the third is solve problems, because nobody cares about your problems as a business owner like you care about your problems. The problems stop with you. So every time you remove a problem out of your way, you overcome that problem, you've become that much closer to success. So all you need to do is just keep removing problems out of your way, and you'll just keep getting there, because your life as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, is just going to be full of problems. So I like the Jack Sparrow line of, the problem is not the problem is your attitude about the problem. So when a problem comes to me, I'm almost thankful for it, because I'm finding a hole in my plan, and I'm going to resolve that issue. And by the time I get done with it, I'm going to be closer to success. So raise money, hire well, solve problems, keep swinging.
Awesome. Great advice. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Anytime you want to come back, you got some big announcements, big things happening, just let me know. And you're more than welcome. You ever need anything, just let me know.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and everybody for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If you want to check out any past episodes, go to YouTube, or you can check out the videos section on our Facebook page. Thank you again.
Later.